Okay, thank you. So finally we started. Thank you. So keep the introduction coming, please. State your name and your location in the chat box. So we're going to get right into it now. So who is, please confirm you can hear me, please. You can give the reaction so I know you can hear me. Thank you. Please confirm you can hear me. Okay, thank you. So who is Omajite Sandra and why are we having this webinar? So can you see my screen as well? You can confirm that as well so I can continue.
Yes, we can.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so my name is Sandra. As you know, Onajite Sandra. Yes, I am a global business consultant. I specialize in hospitality management and real estate. I also do lots of marketing and strategies. So most people know me as someone who sells real estate. I have a real estate company called JLux Consult. So they call me Madam JLux. I also do hospitality management. And to cut the long story short, in 2022, I decided to go out to get skills because I was tired of a lot of things. I was serving in Port Harcourt. I was earning 30,000 naira. I couldn't do so much with what I was earning. So I had to, you know what, I had to break free from where I was. Can you still hear me, please?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, we
thank
can.
you. So I was so tired of everything. I decided, you know what? I'm going to start from somewhere. Social media was, you know, buzzing then with content creation and all that. So I started with taking a course on Udemy. Please mute your mic. So it's affecting mine. I don't know. Who's that? Thank you. So I started with Udemy and then I got the Tech Up Girls Bootcamp. Can you hear me? Sorry. I'm so sorry. You were saying something. Who's that, please?
I think it was the person's mic was on, so I think you can go on.
Okay, thank you. So I started with the Udemy course on content creation, then I got into Tech Up Girls Bootcamp, and then I learned a lot. I was able to niche down to say, you know what, I'm going to be doing social media management, but I was able to get the basic from digital marketing and all that. And then I got the opportunity to do Skills Connect Bootcamp under my volunteering organization, You Lead. They're also a partner here. Thank you. So, and my teacher, my teacher is here, Miss Adetola, and she's one of the speakers. She taught us a lot, but these were just like my journey to, gathering skills because I was tired of where I was. When I did that, I also paid for a graphics design class because I had no background knowledge about graphics design or whatever, but thank God for Mr. Godswill. He's also here, will be teaching us today as well. So I just gathered these skills mindlessly. I did not even know I just wanted to start from somewhere. And then, I said, what? Let's start this business. I started my real estate business, opened my page. I did everything, social media management, ad campaign. I was a salesperson. I was just everything, the, typical entrepreneurial style. But then I'm so happy because this is me years later. I work in a real estate company, no prior knowledge, but the experience that I had with my business. So now that takes us to the next slide, which is why this topic. So, equipping youth for employability and entrepreneurship through skills development. Now, my story sums up the entire reason why we're here. I was able to go from an entrepreneur to an employee, and I can always still go back to being an entrepreneur. The entrepreneur spirit is always and will always be here. So just imagine if today at the end of this call, you go home with a social media management skill or better knowledge about how to package yourself and package your business and position yourself. It's going to reduce the number of unemployed people we have because that's like the major issue that I am tired. People don't, they keep complaining there are no jobs. And then you want to ask them, you have the skills that fit into the roles, and then they tell you they don't have it. So we just keep revolving around this job stagnant market and all that. So that's why we're doing this topic, and that's why it's so relevant. And we're still going to be enabling people with skills and courses at the end of this program. So thank you. That's all from my end. I'll be introducing our first speaker because we need to move really fast. Remember, we have to leave here in 16 minutes, which I doubt. But so our first speaker is the amazing Miss Adetola. So this is her profile. Please confirm you can hear me because I'm so excited. Like I love her so much. She's an amazing teacher. I love her so much. Please confirm you can hear me and you can see my screen, and you can also give reactions so I know that you're with me or with us.
Yeah.
I can hear you, Krishna. I'm watching from Guinea.
Sorry, Ahmad, is that you?
I said that I can hear you very well. Yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you. So I'll just read her profile, then she'll come and do her magic. So Ms. Adetola Fajimbola is a growth executive and digital marketing strategist with expertise in product marketing, communications, and media strategy. She has worked with top brands like Need Technologies, ID Africa, and Teleperformance. Please, let's give the clapping reaction. Let's give that. It takes a lot to build all of this. Please, let's react. Thank you. And Teleperformance, leveraging SEO, content marketing, and data-driven strategies to drive business growth. She's certified in digital marketing, growth marketing, and business analytics. Adetola is passionate about equipping professionals with digital skills for career success. Beyond her corporate work, she actively mentors and leads initiatives to promote digital literacy and professional development. So this is what we have here. So I'm going to stop sharing. Please, again, let's give her a round of applause and welcome her. Hi, Ms. Adetola. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. Thank you. I can see Mr. God's will giving a reaction. All of you are just so calm. What's happening? Are we tired? Are we hungry? Are we sleepy? What exactly is the issue? Oh, Angel, that's a lot. Thank you. Ms. Adisa, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you. Thank you.
All right. Am I audible enough? This fine.
I can hear you. So, guys, if you can hear or you can hear, just, state it in chat box or maybe unmute your mic and say something.
Sandra, so
Sorry? I can't hear you. Hey guys, sorry, I think she's having network issues. So, Adesola, can you hear me? Are you here? Your network is breaking.
okay.
Okay, it's better now, I think.
How about now?
Yeah, it's better now. Yeah, it is.
So sorry about this, guys. We're in Nigeria, so you're going to have to forgive me. But is it better now? Can we go on like this, or do I have to do something from
Yes,
my
it's
end?
perfect. Thank you. This is okay.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for the warm welcome. Really glad to be here. Um, I was going to share I was going to put on, my camera so that you put a face to the name. I'm not sure I'll be able to do that now because I had to switch devices. Let me try one more time. But very glad to be here. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. Thank you for inviting me. So it's especially um, it's especially nice to be here because I taught Sandra. So it's like, oh, people who you taught are doing big things. So it's really exciting for me. I hope we're having a good day. Just let me know how your day is going in the comment section before I start. Recording in progress.
Yeah, there's a lot. Your mic is muted. I don't think you know. Yeah, I guess.
Okay. How about now?
Yeah, it's better now.
All right. So, please confirm you can see my screen so that we'll get right into it.
Not yet.
Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Sandra, you'd have to give me. You disabled sharing from your end, so
Oh,
please
I'm
give me
so
access to
sorry.
share.
Okay, give me a minute, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Give me a minute, please. I'll work on that
Hello.
now.
Can anybody hear me? Okay. Okay, someone can hear me. Thank you. All right. So let me say a bit of my story before we go on, so that you know that if you are feeling somehow or you're in any phase of your life, I'm pretty sure people have been there and they've moved on. After my NYSC, I've always been interested in, digital skills and all of that. But so I joined a church group, the publicity group, to, just learn about social media and stuff like that. So when I got into teaching, because if you're in Nigeria, you know that teaching is like the next thing you do when you finish and you're in between, waiting for that dream job of yours. So I got to teaching. Thankfully, can you hear me? I just want to confirm you can all hear me before I go on. Sandra, are you here? I still can't share my screen.
Yes, I can hear you, please. I can hear you. I'm here. I'm so sorry it's taking so long. I'm coming.
Hello, is Sandra here?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Adesola, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. You were saying?
Yes. So I said I'm coming. I'm working on it, please.
Okay, thank you. So it was in 2019 or 2018 thereabout. I got an opportunity to do this online training that was sponsored by Facebook. It was Facebook at that time, it wasn't Meta yet. Facebook. It was a 6 month long training, and I think that was a very transformative period for me because apart from just learning about arts, content creation, media management, we also did a lot of agency based work. So when I say agency, I mean advertising agencies and things like that. So it started a career for me in marketing, communications, and all of that. Right after I got to work with Facebook, here in Nigeria, and then a host of other companies. So digital skills literally saved my life because I knew within me that I didn't want to be a teacher, but that was just not like teaching is not great. I mean, everyone is here because we had like teachers, So, but for me, I just, like Sandra said, I wanted more, So I'm glad that I was able to get the more that I wanted. And
Sorry,
the
Adesola.
reason,
So sorry. Can you try sharing? Okay, yeah, it's working now. Sorry for the delay.
no, it's fine. The only reason that I could do that was because I had an opportunity to learn digital skills. So that's what today is about, really. So if you want to move from wherever you are in your journey, whether as a business owner, whether as a recent graduate, maybe you are looking for clarity, right? This is the first step, right? Okay, so I'm not going to talk about it again because Sandra has graciously introduced me. So, okay, a little bit about me from my perspective. I like to think of myself as a growth executive because, like Sandra said, I got a lot of skills, right? And until later, maybe around 2020, 2021, I didn't quite know how to fit all of those skills into this one person that I am. So I do communications. I started from digital marketing, content creation, content writing. I started with freelancing on Fiverr, Upwork. So there were all of these skills, right? But I didn't even know that you could make money off of them, right? So I've worked as a public relations specialist, communications, growth, and all of that. But you realize that all of this really is makes me a growth executive. In every organization, I'm constantly looking for ways, opportunities, whether I'm consulting for a business, whether I'm consulting for a business or working as an employee. I'm always looking for ways to scale business growth with the skills that I have. Now, the harsh truths, and if you have any skill that isn't quite digital, I'm sorry to say, but in the very near future, you would be redundant. You would be replaceable, right? So 80% of jobs now require digital skills. Maybe in 2020 it was about 50, or maybe before 2020 it was even about 40. Now I was talking with someone and we are just saying how that it's almost like work doesn't stop. You leave the office, you are taking your laptop with you to continue, right? Before 2020, you could close and just stop. Now it's almost like it's a non-stop world. But the truth now is that 80% of jobs require digital skills in one capacity or the other. There's no beating it. To confirm, you can see my screen. Can anyone confirm you can see my screen, please? Just want to be sure that. Hello?
Yes, we can.
Thank you. So, if you do not have digital skills, if you're not a digital person, your business is going to replace you. So it's maybe you're friends with your employer or something, you feel like, oh, your place is secured. But the need of society in itself is going to make you replaceable. So one of the first things I want us to do is to reflect. If you have a business and you want to scale to the next level, right? If you're a business owner, would you hire yourself? Would you be the employee that comes for a job interview and there is a level of skill that you get to so it's either maybe they can't pay you or something, but it's not a skill issue. You're not going to be worried that, oh, you don't fit the role, because for the past how many years I haven't um what's the word now, actively. So if I'm looking for a role, if I'm preparing to leave a role, there's almost always something else waiting for me because of the skills that I've gathered. Because digital skills can fit in almost anywhere. I've worked in PR, I've worked in digital marketing, I've worked, across some industries. And the reason is because my skills has positioned me in that perfect opportunity or in the role that I'm useful almost everywhere. Think of any business, they're going to need someone who, communicates effectively to their stakeholders. They're going to need someone who has an idea of ads. They're going to need someone who, so digital skills is that positions you strategically such that you're always needed. Even if you don't have a job particular, you can freelance, you can, get gigs that can sustain you till you get the job that you want. So the question that I'm posing to you this afternoon is, would you hire yourself? And I need you to be really honest. If you're a business, you're looking to scale, are you someone who, do you think that you would hire yourself? And I really want to, let's see, I want to see, what's it called now? Can you still see my screen?
Yes, we
Hello?
can. Yes, we can.
So I want to see honest reviews in the comment section. Would you hire yourself? Yes. Okay, Angel says you hire yourself. Very proud of you, Angel. Who else? For the next level of your life or wherever you want to scale to, do you have the skills that, if you were you, would you hire you? That's the question. Okay, so while we go on, ruminating about that, let's let's talk about the fact that a degree doesn't necessarily guarantee you a job right now. And you know how in those days people in those days people used to go around with brown envelopes and things like that looking for jobs, with their degree. If you studied, or let's say if you studied engineering, for example, your life is, better somewhat because you are going to have an engineering job, probably end up in a oil. That's not it. If you studied English like me and they tell you you can work anywhere, just know that your career prospects are really low. If God doesn't help you, if you don't get still skills like I did, you end up in a classroom like I did too. I almost did. Thank you, Jesus. Anyway, so a degree doesn't guarantee you a job. So if you think that just being a graduate in 2025 would sustain you or would make you, what's the word, employable, I'm sorry, really, really sorry to disappoint you, but it won't. It absolutely wouldn't. You know, I'm the head of business for my organization, and um, that position allows me to sit in interviews and things like that. And one of the mistakes that I see a lot of people making is coming into that interview thinking because they studied mass comm, for example, they can have a job at a media agency. Not quite, because people in school nowadays, 300 level people, if you live in Lagos, for example, you would notice that virtually, or not virtually, say 40%, 50% of UNILAG students, when they are coming out of university, they already have like 2 years experience in one role or the other in a digital skill. Some of them are product marketers, some of them are product designers. They started in their 200 level, right? Some of these people, I kid you not, they are studying medicine. Things like that. So the winning mindset I want you to leave here with is that you need skills and you need a hustling. By hustle, I don't mean, by hustle, I mean the desire to want more, the desire to do more, to look for these opportunities. That's when you're going to get opportunities. I mean, much ado about digital skills. Why do they even matter? What are we even talking about? Why is there such a wave about digital skills and all of that? The first reason is because the world is digital. You would agree with me that between 2020 and 2025, the world has sort of changed before our very eyes. And to be honest, I'm glad that I am born in this era, or I got the skills just right before that change happened. I was able to, just get into it, and now I'm positioned in a way that, because since 2020, I haven't even worked. The longest I've worked in an organization, um, so when I say work, the longest that I've had to go to work physically in an organization has been only 1 month. Since then, I am always working from home. In fact, if I'm job hunting and I see on site, I don't even bother because I don't want, my skills have positioned me in a way that I don't have to go to work to, grow your business or things like that. So the most I do is hybrid. And I'm really glad about that because before then, I had to go to work every day and things like that. So these are just some of the benefits. You are in a position to actually choose. The world is digital, jobs are evolving, employers are expecting digital competency. One of the things they are asking you, are you competent with Microsoft or Google Suite? Do you know how to use this tool? Do you know how to use that tool and things like that? Jobs are evolving. Where you could be a sales girl. People don't even need sales girls as much now because they just take pictures and post it online. So over a sales girl, they would prefer a social media manager. Do you get it? So jobs are evolving. If you were a um let's say cloud, before cloud, there used to be like on-site, computing stuff like that, where people had to maintain the data warehouse of companies and all of that. They needed people on site in particular locations to do that. Now everybody's transitioning their data and everything to the cloud. So that man who used to be the OG in the company is no longer needed. Or if he doesn't scale up, he's going to lose his job because a young person who got cloud computing skills is going to come in and take his job. So the world is evolving. Employers expect digital competency. Another reason is because it's more like the first, but technology is changing industries and job roles. Before 2020, and I'm saying 2020 because it was a very pivotal year for everybody, the world at large. That's when remote work started and things like that. For example, Amazon, used to employ lots of people to work in their warehouses and all of that. After 2020, when people had to stay at home, it forced the world to think of job roles in another way, right? And so they started to think of machines, they started to think of AI stuff and all of that. Of course, AI has been here, but it was now more evident that, oh, these things needed to be done. So after all of that, they started getting machines in their warehouses. People lose their jobs for that because where they are hiring 2,000 people now, and you know how machines are, they don't break down, they don't have sick days or things like that. So where they're employing like 1,000 people, they are employing only maybe like 400 because machines are doing the bulk of the work. So you absolutely cannot remain digital skillless, if you will excuse me. Companies now prefer candidates who are tech savvy and adaptable. I interviewed two candidates today, and I tell you from my interaction with them, I already know, who is likely going to progress to the next level. It's the person who has more digital skills, person who is more tech savvy, person who is more open to technological advancements, really. So that's why digital skills matter. So we've talked about why these skills are important, right? So what skills then make you employable? And I've sort of categorized them into different blocks just so that we understand because there's a lot of skills. One of the first I'd like to talk about is communication and collaboration tools. If you don't know how to use Zoom, do you know, hey God, do you know that there are people in this within the age of maybe 18 to 30? Can you hear me? Someone said something.
I can hear you.
Are you
Please,
there?
guys, mute your mic so you don't interrupt her, please. Thank you.
Okay. If you have questions, I mean, maybe you could maybe put it in the comments, and when I'm done, we can look at it together. I just want to confirm: Are you still seeing? Can you still see my screen? Because I just
Yes, we
what
can see
screen
your
are you seeing?
screen. Skills that make you
My
employable.
right. Thank you. So if you are still struggling with emails, if you are not, I got an email recently, and the thing is, it wasn't someone had, yeah, I got that email and was from a partner organization. I just looked at the email, I'm like, what in the world? There was no subject, the person didn't, something as simple as dear so and so, it wasn't there. It was just like a text message. I was just like, because people judge you based on these things. Do you know? Because I'm thinking of this person, I'm like, I'm never working with you. If you cannot type a simple email, how do you want me to trust my business with you? People judge you from things like that. From your email, you already say, this person will not take nonsense. So, this person, I have to come correct. Things like that. So if you don't have communication and collaboration tools, you are going to I hate to say this, but you're going to suffer. Like it's going to be a hard road for you because these things are important. They're skills that make you employable, right? If you come to me to employ you, these are things that I'm going to look out for. And let's assume you have even maybe a job interview. You know how that virtual interviews are like the first stage of interviews now. You know, you're supposed to share your screen. Don't know how to share your screen on Zoom. Things like that. Please try as much as possible to start even before you have need for them. Start to practice on your own. Start to practice how to speak. Just things like that. So you need to master email etiquette. You know that there's not just Gmail, right? You know that there's Outlook and all of that. Sometimes go on Outlook. Just look at how it's done. Practice using virtual meeting platforms. Even if your company is not using Trello now or Asana or things like that, just start practicing it so that because if you are going for like a project manager, even as a virtual assistant now, right, you would need these tools. So you need to start to learn. And then basic digital literacy. So what we mean by this is there are some things you should just know. Like the only thing as a young person is how to go on Facebook and things like that. You don't know how to use some apps. You don't know how to. There was someone's phone who was full, and the person was complaining that I'm like, have you tried deleting stuff? And the person's like, oh, and I'm like, it's basic. Sometimes your devices slow down because there's too much space issues. Things as little as that make all the difference. Social media and digital marketing. I'm sorry because we have a short time. I'm just trying to touch on all of these things. Um, Social media and digital marketing is a $1 million industry. You have no idea. There's just so much to unpack on this alone. Your business owners are looking for ways to put themselves out there. People are realizing more than ever before that they need a digital presence. So they are looking for people to help them. Digital marketing, people to run ads, stuff like that. So there's just so much to unpack. I have not, to be honest, one of the best things about my life has been learning about digital marketing social because it makes me really knowledgeable about the world around me. I get into conversations and people are nodding their heads because I'm making sense. But more than that, I'm earning money. I literally can hold down two jobs, at a go because I have the skills that this person needs and things like that. So it's very important. How do you know TikTok just came and people are making a lot of money there? Do you know what's even going on there? Are you leveraging LinkedIn for your personal brand? Okay, maybe I'm not one to talk about this. I'm a very quiet person per se. So if you go on LinkedIn, I'm not the person to talk. But there was a time that I was talking a lot because I needed it. Now I've sort of my work sort of speaks for itself now, but you are just starting, so you need to talk a lot about your skills. You need to go on LinkedIn. You need to be posting every day. You need to post. When I say post every day, I mean actual good stuff. So are you leveraging things like this? Are you learning about the platform so that if someone comes to you and says, oh, I want you to handle my LinkedIn for me, you are not thrown into the deep? You can say yes, absolutely. Sandra talked about learning, paying to learn graphics design. It's really important. Content creation tools like, can you use Canva to make the barest design? Do you have basic understanding of maybe you are not a digital marketing expert, but do you know how to boost an ad from Facebook and Instagram and things like that? So it's really important. So when we say data management analytics. Sandra, you would have to help me, please. If I have like 10 minutes left or something, please just let me know so that I can run. Um, data management. When we talk about data, do you know how to use Excel and Google Sheets? Because really, there's no job you will do in this life, right? That you will not sort of need to put some things on Excel. I remember a friend asking me, I was a bit thrown. She was like, oh, she doesn't know how to put drop down. That she explained what she wanted to do to me, and I realized that a drop down on Excel would have helped. She didn't know how to do that, right? And it was something that she was on a call with her boss. She was lucky that I was at home then. She just put it and I helped her. Imagine if it was an office situation and if it was an office situation, basically she probably would have. And the thing about first impression is immediately they know that, oh, you don't know how to do this thing, it just sort of stains your reputation. Coding and web development, it's not, you can make a lot of money without knowing all of these things, but it's also good to even know what's about. Oh, what website, you should be able to know if this website is built with WordPress or it's coded or things like that. Cybersecurity awareness. When I say cybersecurity awareness, I'm saying you should know not to click on some links because it may be a phishing link and things like that. So these are skills that just make you generally employable. So how do you learn, to build these skills? One of it is there are lots of free, affordable learning resources. Google Digital Garage does one for digital marketing. It takes you from being an absolute novice to learning about digital marketing. LinkedIn Learning, Coursera, Udemy. There are lots of free and affordable. Even if they are not free, they are very affordable learning. Um, YouTube tutorials, YouTube University. Right? There's absolutely nothing that you're looking for. Even was it not yesterday? I was trying to do something on WordPress. I just couldn't figure it out. guess what came to my rescue? YouTube. So I don't think there's anybody, regardless of how big you are, you're not going to need a learning resource or things like that. So you need to learn to build these schools. Go online, look for digital marketers who are experts in their field, listen to them talk about what they do, start to practice. I watched a friend learn product management, right? And in 2 years, she's even earning more than me. Do you get? So you need to, and she hasn't paid, she hasn't done a PMP, she hasn't done much. Do you get? Because she used affordable and free learning resources. She committed to the path. Another one is internship. Gosh, you have no idea how important this is. So as soon as you learn, the best way to learn is to actually start to practice. So you want to look for internship opportunities, even if they're not going to pay you or they're going to pay you only 30K. You're the one who knows what you're looking for. So chook your head inside there in Nigeria balance, gain experience by freelancing, volunteering, working on digital projects, and then apply, even if it's for unpaid, even if you don't have all the experience, just apply first. And even if it's an unpaid position, even if I really don't, I feel like if I'm working, I should get some sort of remuneration. But if you are in that part where you're trying to transition, where you're trying to learn, you may have to take on some of those positions, and in the end, you'll be better for it. All right. Another thing you need to do is to put yourself out there. I cannot stress this enough. As a newbie or as someone looking to gain digital skills, because you learn as you practice, really. So start to you need to start to what's it called, put yourself out there. Oh, if you learned about digital marketing, practice it. If you learned about content writing, put up a post on LinkedIn. If you learned about email marketing, thankfully all of these platforms have like free options. So you can tell your friends, look, I want to practice with you. There is the MailChimp free option, there's Get Response that gives you 30 days free. So things like that. But what you can absolutely not do is remain the way that you have, or even if you have a little skill, remain without practicing, without putting yourself out there. Because the thing is, no matter how bad you think you are with this thing, there's someone who is willing to take a chance on you, and there's nobody who wants a total novice. So wherever you are, just start, so that for the next opportunity you can say, oh, I've done this. Now after you've learned all of these skills, how do you then start to monetize the skills? Because to be honest, you might not get a job immediately. So what do you do before you get that dream job that you're looking for? You can start to freelance. There are so many freelance platforms, Upwork, Fiverr, and a whole lot of others. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. And then remote work. So you can, from where you are now, because of skills like virtual assistant and things like that, you can work for people in India, can work for people around the world. So always look out for opportunities like that. Okay. And then digital marketing. I gave this a slide on its own. I gave this a number on its own because you can freelance as a content creator. You can, but digital marketing, I beg you, try to learn that tech skills like coding, like web development and things like that. So thank you so much. Not to waste much of your time, open to questions and things like that. Right. Thank you very much. If you have questions, put them in the comment and we can come back to it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. As expected and even over expected, more like you over delivered. Thank you so much. This was an amazing session. Is it just me? You guys react. How do you feel? How do you feel? Someone please unmute your mic and say something, please. Praise, can you say something?
Yeah,
Sarah,
I really
can you say
enjoyed her
something?
session.
Okay.
I enjoyed that session. It was great. Thank you so much, Ma. There was so much to learn from your session. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you for the session.
Thank you.
I am Boubacar Sidiba and watching from Guinea. I have particularly
Okay.
remember
I'm sorry.
about
Hi.
the
Hi.
previous.
Can you hear me? Sorry to cut you short,
Yeah.
Bubakar. So we have a question and answer session. I don't know. So we can have the next speaker, then we can just do everything at one time. Is that okay?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. So let's get the next speaker. Thank you so much. So the next speaker is Mr. Gutswill. I'm super pumped for his session, honestly. As always, or like the previous speaker, is going to kill the session. So let me introduce him, my teacher. So I'm going to be sharing my screen. Please let me know if you can see my screen. Please confirm that you can see my screen, please. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so Mr. Gutswill, my teacher. So he will be taking the next session, and I'm just going to read his profile so I can come quickly because we are running out of time. So Mr. Gutswill is a seasoned brand and product designer with a strong background in brand identity, brand strategy, and positioning. With over 5 years of experience working with B2B and B2C brands as business to business and business to customer brands, he has helped startups, SaaS companies, and entrepreneurs create powerful brand identities that align with their business goals. Currently, he works as a freelance brand designer at Foundation Marketing in Nova Scotia, where he collaborates with top SaaS brands to craft high impact visual content that enhances their brand positioning and marketing strategies. Beyond his agency work, he helps founders and businesses build strong, recognizable brands that attract the right audience and drive growth. His expertise lies in blending strategy with design, ensuring brands don't just look good, but also communicate effectively, differentiate with themselves in the market, and leave a lasting impression. Through his work, Gutswill has helped brands increase their visibility, improve customer engagement, and drive more conversions through well-crafted brand identities and strategic positioning. Outside client work, he shares insights on branding, brand identity, and brand positioning, helping business owners and creative entrepreneurs elevate their brands. What we're saying here is, after taking a course or a topic from what Mr. Aditola just said, this is the next one: how to position yourself to be seen, how to create perception in the hearts and minds of people. So let's welcome Mr. Guthrie with a round of applause. Give me your favorite reaction. So let's get right into it. I'll stop sharing my screen now so he can start. Mr. Guthrie, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Good day. Good afternoon, guys. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. So, Sandra, I'll be sharing my screen, so I would appreciate it if you could grant me access to that.
Okay, I will.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
you can start sharing now.
Okay. So, first of all, I want to say a big shout out to Sandra for putting this together. It takes a lot of effort and dedication to want to help people learn. Okay, because these things you are doing here for free. I know what a lot of us charge for it. Okay, but then you got people who you know would help others learn. And sincerely speaking, I want to comment that and say thank you very much for bringing us here and for giving people an opportunity to learn. Okay. Another thing I want to say before I start is that our first speaker, Aditola, she did a really amazing job. Like very, very amazing and sincerely speaking. If you are someone who wants to learn, you should watch her session again and there are a lot of things you will see from that. Okay. You may think all the things she's saying is basic, is this, is that, you've heard it somewhere before, but then the truth is hearing it is different from actually taking the action. So she did well. And one of the things I want to point out from what she said was the importance of competence. No matter what we see here, we won't talk now to tomorrow, next year, and all of that. You won't get the results, the needed result, if you do not build competence. So competence is you being able to deliver. You wake you up from your sleep, you can do that thing you say you can do, and that's what really sets people apart. Okay, so that then brings me to the point. You also said something about tech, AI, digital skills, and all of that. So there's the notion that tech and AI is here to replace you. No, it's not. All right, tech and AI is not here to replace you. They are not here to take your job. Tech and AI will only replace those who do not use them. So what I'm saying is this: tech and AI is not here to replace you, but to replace those who do not use them. So those are few things I really want to point out from what she said that's really important that a lot of people listen to and we stress on it so that you can get the needed result from all the things we say. So can we see hear me? Are we good? Sandra, you still hearing me? So I could
Yes, I can hear
share my.
you. I can hear you.
All right, all right. So I was just doing all that to do a little bit of housekeeping before we start. So once again, thank you, Sandra, for all this that you put up. And then I'm sharing my screen now. I would love to know if you can see it. Okay, so if you could see my screen,
Can
we
see
get
a
started.
screen.
Okay, okay. So my name is Godswill Unubokai. So just in case you can't pronounce my surname, just stick with Godswill, right? Because it could be difficult sometimes for people to do. So my name is Godswill. I'm a brand identity designer and a product designer. So what I basically do is that Sandra has said a lot of those things, but I'll just summarize. So what I basically do is that I help you create a brand identity that is aligned with your business goals. It's just like a guy who wants to marry a lady. There's a way you have to position yourself, the way you have to look, the way you have to talk, and all of those things. So it's the same thing with your business goals. If you're someone who wants to use your digital skills to make money, there's a way you need to look, right? There's a way you need to sound. There's a way you need to present yourself and all of those things. So that's what I help you to do. I help you to be able to do that, show your skill in a way that people can actually believe in you and pay you money. Okay, so before I start, okay, yeah, we can get right into it before I share my story on Sandra. Okay, so I don't really want to talk much about myself and all of that. My story is not that interesting. I'll just play it, right? My story is very interesting. Maybe I should share a bit about that before we talk about what the brand is not. So same thing with our first speaker after NYC. Okay, I've been learning design. I'm a graphic designer, I'm a brand designer. I've been doing design for quite a while. Okay, way more than the 5 years you saw and all of that. But after NYC, I figured out something that was painful. I was very good, but I was broke. And that's a painful place to be in. Where you know that more, you study this thing very well, but then you don't really have so much to show for it, and that could be painful. Okay, so it turned out that I saw what other designers were doing. I saw how much they were making. I saw how well they were doing, the impacts they were doing, they were giving out, and all of those things. And I was moved to want to know what they were doing differently. Because if it's to design it, if it's to do the design, which is the skill that our first speaker talked about, if it's to learn the skill, I submit the thing, you understand? But then you know how to do something, what's the result and all of that. So I had to dig deep and I saw that they were doing a lot of things. One of those things is branding, communication, copywriting, digital marketing, most importantly. So a lot of them are doing digital marketing, they're putting themselves out there. I was just someone who was good but hiding behind the walls of SRB design. All right. Thinking you being good at something automatically brings the result you seek. It's a lie, right? I'll say it how it is. So if you think because you're so good, people are just going to come to you, no. At some point in your life, in your career, you just have to create a foundation where you put yourself out there for people to easily find you. So hope I'm not talking to myself and you can hear me. That would be.
We can hear
Guys,
you.
can you see? Okay. Okay. So that being said, let's get right into it. I'll start with saying what a brand is not. So when I figured out those things my fellow designers were doing, I decided to put in the work. I decided to put myself out there and sincerely speaking, it's been one of the best decisions as I get married. It's been one of the best decisions of my life. And I can tell you for facts, I'm here today because I took those decisions to put myself out there to tell people this is what I can do, this is how I can help you. Okay. So what a brand is not. One of the misconceptions people have about branding is the fact that they think when you say brand, it's all the fancy looking things like the colors, your fonts, your logos, all those fancy things that gets people to be attracted to your brand. No, it's not. All right. To stress that point further, it's just like saying everything about me is how I look. No, it's not. That's not true. Okay. There's a lot more about me that you don't know. Okay. The way I talk, my character, my attitude, how I behave when I'm upset, all of those things. So when you put all of that together, you get an entire story about what a person is. Okay, so it's the same thing with a brand. A brand is not those fancy things we see that we think a brand is. A brand is not a color, it's not a font. Those things are important, don't get me wrong. They are very, very important. Your visuals, your designs, well. If you take all of that as what a brand is, you miss out on what you can actually achieve with a brand. So that being said, okay, what is a brand? Before I explain further, I would like to give a story about Sandra. Okay, so after I found out that she attends my church or attended the same church in Port Harcourt here, I wanted to propose to my wife then. All right, so I needed a place to use, and Sandra really came through for me. So she showed me the place, we paid, and all of that. And she told me she was going to fix everything and make sure it's ready for that day. You know, we guys, we don't even know how we're going to do that, the proposal thing and all of that. So she actually did that. She got the place, she set everything up. I think she didn't go to church that day, just to ensure that everything was fine, it was perfectly done. And all I had to do was just walk in, propose, and then it was all done. So my experience with her from that is that she is someone that is reliable. She's someone you could trust. And it was really nice. The decoration, everything went smoothly. So I built a perception about Sandra from that experience. Sure, I knew her before, but then having to go through that experience with her taught me a few things about her that I still carry to now. Okay, I agreed to this talk with you guys because of her personality. Okay, so a brand is not what you say it is. So she could have told me I can do this, I can do that. Sure, you can show me. So a brand is what people say it is. All right, a brand is not what you say. What you say about yourself is more like marketing. You're trying to market yourself. I can do this, I can do that, blah blah blah. All of that is stories until we experience you. When we experience the services you provide, you're a digital marketer, you're a web designer, you're this, you're that. When I experience your service, I experience your brand. What I feel, what I think about you is what a brand is. Okay, so that's what you should strive towards. So while you are learning your skills and you are trying to put yourself out there, you have to put this in mind that everything you do, you're trying to influence how people think about you, what people say about you, what people feel about you, right? All right. So hope we'll see here and you can still hear me. Right.
Yes, we can
Are
hear
we here?
you. Can hear
Okay,
you.
so thank you very much. So now that I've talked about what a brand is, now what is branding? Branding is every effort you take in shaping how people perceive you. All right. So I've said the brand is what people say. People could say a lot of things about you, but yet it's not true. All right. So that's why you now need to package the skills you have, the services you provide, the solutions you provide in a way that you want people to respond to it. Like I said, if a guy wants to ask a lady out, there's a certain way he's going to package himself so as to be presentable to that lady, all right? For him to at least get a response from her. It's the same thing with having a skill. You you don't have to learn a skill if you don't plan on earning with it. So the word learn, when we say learn, Learn, if you take out the L itself is learning. The EARN is N. So when you are learning a skill, it should be, I think you should have the plans to earn from it. All right. So the only way people can give you their money, all right, at a level, all right, not the one that, okay, you're offering a service at a certain stage. If you really want to climb the ladder where you get paid for your value, not necessarily the effort you are putting in. I could sit down now and get a logo done, a brand done in like 30 minutes, an hour. The reason I could do that is because I have built competence, just like our first speaker spoke about. Okay, I have built competence. Imagine building that competence for years, spending money, investing here, investing there. Just early this year, I saw a program that I want to take for it's 2 days, just 2 days program, and they're saying 3,000 euros. So imagine I take that program, 3,000 euros, and then I just decide to, you know what? I'm so good. I have lots of certification. I have lots of experience. I'm just going to stay here. People will come find me. Trust me. You go wait. You go tire. All right. You're going to wait for a very long while. Okay. So all I'm trying to say is that branding is every effort you take to shape how people will see those skills you have, your digital marketing skills, your tech skills, your AI skills, your communication skills. You need to package it, all right? You need to package it in a way that you get the reaction from people that you are expecting. So clients who are going to pay you a lot of money in dollars and all of that, there's a way they behave, all right? I'm already going beyond my notes, okay? All right, so branding is your efforts, everything you do to ensure that, okay, I want to look this way, I want to look that way, all right? So let's get right into it. So branding is about your reputation and how people feel about you, the promises you make and how you deliver it, the emotional connection you build with your audience. So for my story about Sandra, I already have an emotional connection with her. So anytime I think about my proposal, I remember Sandra. Sandra helped me to ensure it was good, it was perfect. Okay, so that's how you want to behave. That's how you want to behave when you find yourself in an organization, when you find yourself working with clients. That's how you want to behave. You want to ensure that you're building emotional connection, not just the money they are going to pay you. Okay, so some persons are so concerned about how much they will earn from their skill that they close the doors to themselves. So God opens the door for you, and because of you are so bent on how much, and all of those things, you get to close. You want to get the shoe, so you want to get the shoe and all of that. You see an advert either on Instagram, on Facebook, or TikTok. You investigate, all right? You have to do your research first to ensure that this person saying they can do this, which is marketing, aligns with what they actually do, what they stand for, and all of those things. So when you learn a skill and you want to put yourself out there, you need to ensure that what you are saying you can do aligns with what people will experience when they interact with your business. Okay? I don't see the need of learning a high government skill and then you don't know how to position yourself well. You are not saying good things about yourself. You are saying good things about yourself, but you're not saying it in the right way. Those things don't work. All right, so I went on to say branding is every effort you take in shaping how people perceive, experience, and remember your business. So you can replace your business with your skill and all of that. But learning a skill is a phase. Turning that skill into a business is another phase entirely. Okay, there are two different things. Learning a skill, fine, good, you're doing well. But when you want to operate at a certain level, you want to command certain kind of results. You want certain kind of persons to relate with your skill and be able to commit thousands of naira, thousands of dollars into your hands. There are certain ways you need to position. There are certain things you need to do. That is branding. All right, that is branding. I gave an example of a guy who wants a lady. He has to brand himself in a way that is presentable to the lady, all right? So he's not going to brand himself in a way that is presentable to another lady. He will do that in a way that is presentable to that particular lady to get what he wants from that person. Okay, so hope we're still good and everything is fine. Network is good and we are all here.
Yes,
Just trying
it
to.
is.
Okay, so I also said that branding is about your reputation. Okay, so when we say reputation, this is what it means. When you learn a skill, just like our first speaker talked about, she did a really good job about those things, what you need to do, how to do it, and all of that, where you can get information from. When you do that, you have to build a reputation around that skill, such that when people are looking for someone who is good with content writing in the tech space, they know they can find you. They know where to find you. They know the person you have to go to is X, Y, Z. They need someone who is good with delivering, let's say, a million bags, a million shoes, and all of that. I'm just using an children's example. They know who to find, which is you. They know where to find you. Right? I do not see the reason why you learn a skill so important as the one you're learning now or the one you're going to learn. And someone will take your money and go and give someone else who is even not as good as you are. That thing pains me a lot. And that's why I do all I can to put myself out there so that my clients get the best for their money. Right? So every time that your clients, your potential clients, someone who's supposed to be giving you their money is giving it to someone else who is not even going to deliver as much as you are doing a lot of disservice. Because one, your client is losing out, you are losing out. So why not do it? Why not put yourself out there so they can locate you? All right? That's very important. I also said branding is about the promise you make and how you deliver it. So this guy wants this lady. He's definitely going to make a lot of promises. Trust me. You are trying to get a woman, you go promise. But then you promise what you can deliver because they will not forget. The same thing is applicable in business. So when you learn a skill, you are trying to turn it into a business, that you're definitely going to make promises. Just like MTN, everywhere you go, even though they are not everywhere you go anymore. Those are promises. Red Bull gives you wings. Do you get? Those are promises, but those promises have been changed because they could not deliver it. These are big brands making promises, and yet people misunderstand those things. So when you learn the skill, you are turning it into a business at different levels, whether you are earning $120,000 a year, you are earning 1 million naira a year, regardless of the level you are in. When you are making a promise, you need to ensure that you're going to deliver. You deliver and then you over deliver. All right, you make a promise, you deliver, you over deliver. All right, so lastly, emotional connection. I also talked about the story of Sandra, how she helped me with my proposal to my wife, and the things she helped me to do and how everything went smoothly. I didn't even have to think about anything. All I had to do is make sure I don't forget the link and find a perfect story to give Madame to be able to follow me to where we're going. Okay, so emotional connection. When your client comes to you, when you create a brand online, you create a business online, you are creating a product, a service online, what you are looking for is emotional connection. Such that people feel like if they don't hire you, they are doing you bad. All right. It's what it is actually. Okay. So for my brand as a person, I'm a designer here, but there are so many other things I ensure I do to make sure that I build emotional connection with my audience, which is giving out value. I make sure my audience every day they learn something new. The life become better every day because of the things I do. So I'm not necessarily telling you give me your money, but I'm helping you to become better, such that when you need a particular service, you know who to go to. Okay, so these are some of the things I said. So now I also spoke about why branding is important. Okay, why is branding important? I said branding will help you to position well in such a way that those type of clients you want to work with, those kind of results you want to see, you want to make your life better, you want to be able to do XYZ for yourself, your family, and those around you. You want to be able to do the things that Sandra is doing now. It's all branding. Okay, so branding helps Sandra to be able to position well to get you people here. Branding also helped her to be able to connect with the right speakers to come for her events. All right. Not everybody is going to tell me, okay, sir, I want to do this and that. Now I'm not going to be a part of it because I do not trust that brand. And I even went as far as sharing the post with my audience because I trust what she's doing. I trust that if she's bringing people here, it's going to work. So some people that you want to work with, the reason why they are not listening to you, it feels like you know a lot, but these people don't read you much. It's also possible they do not trust that your brand will be able to deliver at the level you are promising. Okay, so these are things people look at behind the scene and they're trying to like make you feel like, we'll get back to you. Unfortunately, these are not of those things. Okay, so uh, I believe a lot of persons were here when I said these things. I'm just trying to rush up so that we can go right to the other parts of the slides. Okay, so now branding. Branding has two parts. When building a brand, there are two core parts of a brand. The visual part, that's the part you see. That's why I'm using like an iceberg to explain this. And the core brand elements, the parts you do not see. Okay, so take a person for an instance, for example now. There are parts of a person you see, their physical appearance, their face, their color, all of these things, the way they walk and all that. Then there are parts you do not see that actually consist of that person, that makes that person who they are. Okay, so for the purpose of this session, I'll focus more on the core brand elements. That's the things that make your brand what it is. And for the visual part, I think Sandra has plans for you guys to make available some design materials that would help you guys. Okay, so hope we're still here and you're hearing me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, okay. So for the core brand elements, we have things like your brand identity. So your brand identity is basically who you are, what you stand for, what people expect when they meet you. Okay, we have things like your brand values. So as a content writer, I'm using content writer as an example because my wife is one, and you create content for tech companies. Okay, that's beautiful. What are your values? Okay, what are your principles? What are those things that guide every single thing you do? So I will take myself for an instance, all right? So there are times when a client comes to me for design jobs, regardless of what you pay, as long as I have accepted to take that job, I said I'm going to do this particular job. Whether you're paying me less, you're paying me more, you're not paying me at all. It is my principle and my value to make sure that that design has to be the best I have done so far. Okay, so these are things that I believe in. So when you learn a skill, your skill should you should take it more than just trying to earn money. It should become something that you believe in. It should become a culture, right? Such that when people come to you, they interact with you, the work you do for them is so nice that they can talk to someone about it. Okay, so I did a job for someone in the US, I think a week ago, and then he liked it so much that he has referred a lot of people to me. So that's more money. That's more money coming from the fact that okay, I had to make sure that this job I'm doing, this value I'm giving to this man, is going to like it so much that even though he is paying me less, someone else is going to see it, and the person is going to like it so much, and then be able to refer them to me. Okay, even though you did not pay me less, though, sha. All right. Okay, so whatever you do, the skills you're learning, when you are delivering it, whether it's free, it's paid, it's below your pay, it's whatever it is, set standards. Those standards you set is the culture, is the identity you build around your skill that makes you valuable. What will set me apart from another designer is things I believe in. As a designer, I believe in strategy. I don't just jump on a design without thinking. What's my client trying to achieve? Who is the target audience? All right. What's the best way to make sure that my client's design, when paired with another competitor, people prefer theirs? So yeah, you're right. And those are the things you need to ask yourself. Okay, when I'm writing a piece for an article, for a blog or something, how do I make this better for my clients such that they achieve the goal they are trying to do? So this is you building a brand. So these things you believe in, people would not know because it's in your heart. These are things you tell yourself. So branding is now how you tell people about it. You come online on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, which is X, you go on TikTok, anywhere you know your audience are, and you tell them, these are the things I can do for you. This is how I'm going to do it. If you trust me with this, these are the results you are going to get. If you sit at home waiting for someone to do it or someone to just come your way and give you those jobs, it's not going to work. Your skill will be so valuable. You'll be the best person possible, but then you just be a potential, someone who could. All right. So branding helps you to come out, to share your values, to share your stories, to get attention of those people who could change your life. All right. So yes. I'm going to talk about 4 steps to building a strong brand identity and strategy. There's a lot to talk about, but I'll try as much as I can with the time we have to. I think I've just spoken more than I should. Please, Sandra, help me. When I'm going, help me not to go too far into our time, right?
It's
Because
fine. We
I'm
still
passionate
have
about
about,
design.
sorry. It's fine. We still have about 5 minutes to just wrap up everything. So,
Thank you. Okay, so 4 steps for building a brand. I think I'll provide this slide with you guys so you can go over it again. So 4 steps for building a brand. You need to know who you are. All right. Okay. Don't lie to yourself. Don't get carried away. The things you do, no matter how little it is, someone somewhere needs it. Your story is what you align with. Okay, the way you are able to do that thing is what people are going to align with. That's what people are going to be attracted to. That's what people want to pay you money for. Okay, everything we do, everything we say, it's out there, it's online. But there's a way you do it. There's a way you say it. There's a way it makes people feel that there's just something about this person that is making so much sense. That is a brand. That is what people are looking for. So the first step to building a brand identity and a strategy that works for you, know who you are. Your digital marketing skills. What separates you from Mr. A? What separates you from Mrs. B? How do you do it differently? That like people tell you, yeah, come on, I just like the way your Facebook ad work, like your images are so making sense, or your targeting makes sense. Those comments you get from people, those things that they say about the skills you have, are the things you should enforce. Like you should put more effort into it. Like for me, people tell me, oh, my design is fine, it's just so simple and it's straight to the point, it gets it done. I like that. I like designs that are simple, they're strategic, and they are very goal oriented. No wasting time. adding thunder and fire where it's not supposed to be. Now, I do not like that. So understand your expertise, the things you know how to do effortlessly, that you're sleeping, they wake you up, you can do it. Okay? Identify those things. What problem do you want to solve? All right. I want to solve the problem of helping brands to create identities that are aligned with their business goals. So you have a goal of making $1 million a year. How can I help you with creating identities that brings that result? That's the problem I want to solve. Not how can I help you create a fine flyer. Anybody can create a flyer. AI can do it now. Okay, lots of tools. You can use your phone to create beautiful flyers. But is that flyer giving the client the result they want? The skills you have, that's how you should look at it. Okay, who do you serve? When it comes to serving people, identify people that have a problem, a throat choking problem. People that they are willing to pay you, just name your price and they will pay you. So there's a lot to say about these things, but time is very limited. Okay, so identify those people that you know that the amount of money you want to charge, they are not going to find it an issue to pay you. They just want to know that, can you solve this thing for me? Okay, then find your unique approach. Then when you do those things, these things will take you a while to figure out. Take your time, don't rush. No need to rush, all right? Take your time to get answers to these things. Then you now need to know, how am I going to position myself in a way that I can attract people? So if you put sugar into a container and cover it up, ants will not go there. It doesn't concern them because they can't reach it. That's what some of us are doing. We have beautiful skills, beautiful personalities, but hope you can still hear me. All right.
Yes, we can hear you.
Wrap up as soon as possible. So if you put a sugar into a container, you close it airtight. It's difficult for ants to get in there. If ants even get in there, it's like one or two, and to take them a lot to get in there. But when you put that sugar on the floor, just give it time. People will start to rush it. Like the ants will start to rush it, and before you know, it's all done. So the same thing is applicable with your skill. Don't box yourself in, thinking you are not good enough, or thinking nobody cares, somebody is doing it. What makes me any different? What makes you different are your values, the things you believe in. I believe that any client that comes to me, I create an identity for you or more. You're going to make money, like a lot of money that it works perfectly for you. Okay, I've worked with lots of brands that you know, global brands that you use on a daily basis. I've worked with some of them, and what I've learned is that they are just looking for results. They want someone who can deliver. And once you can do that, they will give you the money. So position yourself. When you identify those things about yourself, ask yourself, how do I position in such a way that these things that I know, how I can do it, this person that needs it can find me? Check. Are they on LinkedIn? You want to work with top brands? They're on LinkedIn, trust me, okay? Are they on LinkedIn? Are they on X? Are they on Instagram? What do they do on these platforms? What are they looking for? What kind of posts do they like? So identify like 5 companies you want to work with or 5 persons you want to work with. Study them. How do they interact with people? Whatever they do, where they are, try as much as you can to be in those places. Right? There's so much I could say. Okay, so when you want to position yourself, ask yourself, what makes me different? Who are your competitors? Study them. What are they doing? They are making money. It means they are doing something right. They are not your enemies. Competitors are not your enemies. They're not bad people. So study them, see what they're doing. How do you want to be perceived? Premium, which is advisable. If you're starting now, start premium. Like starting premium doesn't mean you go and charge people what they cannot afford now. So starting premium means you give people luxury. Like whatever they get from you is the best that you can do. Okay, so the next thing you need to do is, how am I going to make money from this skill? Because you're learning a high income earning skill, you're branding, you're creating content, you're putting yourself out there, you are making sure people find you. How are you going to make money? The reason why ants are attracted to The reason why ants are attracted to sugar is because innate is their, like, that sweetness for them. So how would you make money? How would you attract people to yourself? So then you need to come up with services. So you are a graphic designer. You are doing a lot of things. Or you do flyer, you are doing logo, you are doing this, you are doing that. What do you do? If you want to perform at a high level, right? If you want people to pay you high level, please, I advise you niche down as much as you can. There is wealth in niches. Abi, that's how they said it now, right? There's wealth in niches. So when I say niche down, doesn't mean you just do one particular thing. Offer one particular thing so that when people come in, they see that, okay, you can do a lot of things, right? People know Elon Musk for his electric cars, but then he do other things. He has cryptocurrency, he has this one. One time he sold drink, yeah, is it drink, perfume? You just sold one thing. So it's really important that you know what you are going to sell, what you are going to your brand, what your brand is going to push, that people are going to use to give you their money. If you just keep telling people what you can do, at the end of the day, it doesn't make sense. So you need to come up with services. Okay, I'm a content writer. I can write your blog post. I can write your goal-oriented blog post. I can propose your social media content into a podcast. Those things. You learn a skill. What can you do with the skill? Okay, package it. Then have a good pricing model that works. See, pricing is a very important thing when it comes to building a brand, building your skill, and all of those things. Don't shoot yourself in the leg because you think, who is going to pay me that plenty amount of money? No, not true. Just try it. Okay. So create a strategy, right? Create a strategy that works for you. Are you going to be posting content on a daily basis? Are you going to create a lead magnet? A lead magnet is basically something you use to attract people to yourself, potential customers to yourself. Are you going to do email marketing? Are you going to do cold calling? Are you going to network, go to events where you can find potential clients? Come up with a strategy that works for you and does not stress you to deliver. Something that you go just do and nothing happen. Like it's easy for you to implement and you start to see results. Okay, so the more you see results, you become confident in the things you're doing. All right. So final words. I'm rushing this, sincerely speaking. When I know this. Okay. So my final words is this: be clear about your value. Your uniqueness is what people will pay you that money for. Okay, so I have a particular client that keeps coming to me for her book cover designs because she has said by herself, my books, the covers are so fine. She likes it. So even when I'm busy, I'm not able to attend to her. She will wait until I'm able to get it done for her. Okay, because I believe in my book will be simple, the cover will be simple, but then it will get the job done for you. Whoever sees you to know what you are saying straight up. Okay. I think Sandra is still by. She wants to chase me. Okay, so show up consistently, position yourself as an authority, use storytelling. People buy into stories. Okay, people buy stories. Then lastly, start before you feel ready. A lot of us are scared that is it right time? Do I have to do this now? Do I wait next year? Your branding is not difficult. Like I said, it's not the colors and all of those things. You just need to start now. Start before you feel ready. Start and improve along the way. Remember, your brand is not what you say it is. It is what people say about it, and you can influence that decision. All right? Cheers, guys. Thank you very much.
With Microsoft 365, your business can blah blue, blah blah.
Hi, Paul. Please mute your mic. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Godswill. Are you done? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's give Mr. Godswill a round of applause. Like, I'm sure he dissected the session. Let me show my face at this point. I'm sure he destroyed everything. So this is my teacher, you all, so you can tell you that I learned well. All right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. So I don't know if you guys have questions for Mr. Godswill and Mr. Detola. Let's leave them in the chat box. I apologize for those of us that were kicked out and those of us that struggled to join the meeting earlier on. I am so sorry. Like, we'll save that energy for another day. But then, digital skill, right? So, so I had to deal with a lot of all of that. But I really want to thank you. There's one thing he said here that I need you all to hold on to is start before you feel ready. Because honestly, you will never feel ready. Me, myself, I think I'm a perfectionist. Sometimes I want everything to be perfect. But you know what? This year, we're going as we are because I mean, this is me being authentic and this is my brand. All right. So thank you so much, Mr. Goswell. So can we have the questions rolling so we can take them? We're going to be taking only 6 questions. So only 6 questions. Hit the questions now. We can just be gracious. You never can tell. So just hit the questions coming. Okay, I can see one question from, sorry, your name is not actually displayed. So if you can help us to, put down your name before you ask the question or so we can know how to address you. It's showing a Zoom user from my end. Oh, so sorry you joined late. So sorry about that. But the recording is going to be available, so you can check my YouTube channel, of course. So I'm going to put my YouTube channel there, so you can check the YouTube channel, and it will be uploaded. It will be uploaded pretty soon. So, okay, how can I know the digital skill to learn? Mr. Adetola, Mr. Godswill, who will take that question? How she wants to know how she'll know the digital skill to learn. So,
Okay, let
So,
me come in here. There's another one before that. For someone who loves writing, how can I improve in content writing? Okay, so let me start with that. Can you hear me?
yes, we can hear you. So, sorry, Mr. Adetola. So, Mr. Godswill will take the question on graphics design. So, thank you so
Sure.
much, Miss. You can start. You can continue, rather. He will take, there's another question for graphics design. He will just take that one. So, you can continue with this.
Okay. So
Yes.
if you love writing, how can you improve in content writing? The first answer will be to keep writing. The more you write, the better you become. Sometimes I look at my writings from like how many years ago, and I'm just like, who employed me? Then it would also be nice to get someone who can review your work, edit it. So it can be friends, it can be someone who has been in the industry. So this is where networking also comes in. You want to network with people who already have like content writing experience, and they are willing to like take a look at your work. You can also make use of writing tips. You can go online to search for writing tips. For example, there's something known as fluff. um Fluff is something that writers use to just take up space. So one thing you want to do is, okay, maybe should I start writing shorter sentences? Should I get rid of fluff in my writing and things like that? So first off, keep writing, don't stop writing. I'm sure in a year from now, you look back at what you've written and you just notice, changes. Another thing, like I said, is to please get someone who can review your work, who can point out ways you can do better as well. So those are ways you can actually get writing. Then there's ChatGPT now, so you can put your work on ChatGPT and ask it to critique your work, ask it to correct or to tell you how you could have improved this. So that would also help as well. So after you've written the work, I'm not saying use ChatGPT to write it. After you've written the work, you can then ask it to critique the work. Then the next question is, there was another
Okay.
one I saw.
Yeah, the question says, how do I know the digital skill? Okay, how can I know the
Hmm.
digital skill to learn?
Okay, so this one is a bit tricky. Sometimes what most people do is just get as much skills as possible first, and then, or rather, the skills that can help you earn. For example, if you writing can help you earn, but when you start writing and you see that you don't have a flair for it, then by all means drop it. Graphics design, for example, I'm not very big on graphics design. I don't just have an eye for design, right? So you want to be true to yourself. Where are your strengths? If you're someone who has always loved, design and things like that, then of course, you can look into design, creative design and things like that. If you've always liked writing, so I would say start from your strengths. Do a honest review of your strengths, your weaknesses. Then look at skills that align with your areas of strength and start from there. Of course, you can always become. Some people started out not knowing anything about design, but they eventually learned. So there's almost nothing you can't learn, right? So, but start from your strength. So that's how you can know the digital skills to learn what you are passionate about or what you have desire for. If you are desirous of a skill, you have a desire to learn a skill, it will push you through the bad days when you are like, what's going on here? So I
Mm.
hope that answers the question.
Okay, to also add to what she has said is, I'm going to just use myself and give you a practical example. I did everything first. Then I identified not just what I liked, but what I'm good at. Because what you like, you may not be good at it sometimes. I don't know if it's just me, but yeah, there's that part. So I knew about the product photography, video editing. I know all of those things, and I'm glad I can do a bit of all of that. But my strength is in social media management, right? And I appreciate that. So don't let yourself get drowned in, oh, don't keep thinking about what you should do. Just start with something. If you start this one, it's not looking like it's okay, move. At least you can start from YouTube. You'll be able to tell if this is what you want to do or not. So just start from where you are. So we'll be answering the next. Sorry, does this answer your question before we move on to the next question? And I think the final question for today. So Mr. Gospel can answer that. Just let us know if it does. Okay, so we're going to get on to the next question now. And Angel just sent a question, but this will be the last question, please, so we can move on to the next question. So, Mr. Godswill, your turn. The question says,
Okay.
thank you so much for this. I'm a graphics designer. I started my journey 2 years ago, and I am not an expert, but I can do something. I want to ask how I can create a great social media presence when I am not much of a social media person. Mr. Gozu is the perfect person for that because he's an excellent, I don't even know what to call him, social media manager, but he does it so well. So, Mr. Gozu, you can have it.
Yeah, setting me up here. Okay. So first off, I think there are a lot of us that are not social media people per se, but then it's just a mindset. It's just a mindset, and then big shout out to you for being a designer. Our work is not easy. I didn't work. Well done. Okay, so first off, I want to use a scenario. Okay, imagine a rich man who says he doesn't like money, does not like making money, or he wants to be a rich man, but then he doesn't like making money. It's not possible. So, what I'm trying to say is that if you want to take note of the words, if you want to build a great social media presence, you need to become a social media person. And becoming a social media person is not a thing of force, it's something you do gradually, slowly, and then you ease yourself into it. Okay, so what I would advise you to do, first, just take out that mindset that, okay, can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you. Sorry about that.
Okay, so there are a lot of things I had to learn that I didn't like. On a normal day, I don't like someone telling me, okay, so I want to learn this thing from you. How much is it? I will just help you to learn and it's all done. So I had to learn selling. Okay, so if you really want to grow a social media presence, is what you want to do, you know it's good for your business. I advise you start to find ways to gradually learn how to become a social media person. What can help you is create a strategy, a plan that it's not difficult. By that I mean, okay, what can you do every week that can help you start building your social media presence? Maybe you post one thing every week. All right. Okay. Then you see that for 3 months you're consistent with doing something every week to build your social media presence. Now you take it a step further. What can I do every day that can build my social media presence? Then you start doing that and see how it goes. Don't guilt yourself. Don't force it. Take it slowly. But then motivate yourself. If you know that growing a social media presence in the next 3 months will help you to earn at least $2,000, $3,000. I know you are going to do it last. This thing you are telling me, you are just whining me. Okay, so most times motivate yourself. Give yourself a reason to want to do that thing that you think you cannot do, sincerely speaking. Okay, so there's no easier way to say it. You just have to start doing it in a way that's easy for you. Create a plan that you're committed to. Tell someone about it. Okay, find someone that can check up on you. How far? How is this thing going? You don't do those kind of things. Okay, yeah. I think that will. All right, then you can reach out to me on Instagram. Let's talk. Let's see how we can help you to set up a few things that will help you. All right. So
Okay.
how can yeah, that's for that person that asked that question.
Yeah. So I'm going to share, it's going to share his handle on the chat box so you can follow. Then how can I improve my social media presence to be able to grow my business? I am mostly posting on WhatsApp. I'm a business person, right? So I'm just going to go straight to the point and answer your question. You love money, you want to sell. Social media is the world where you should sell. whatever strategy you need to be better, try it out. But then try and learn the skill of social media management. You can, if you know you cannot pay someone to manage your page, then you have to learn it, because entrepreneurs, we are mostly everything because it's a one-man business, right? Before we grow to start employing people. So it's similar to the question that the first person just asked about social media presence, but you have to try because you need to make money. And the social media page is highly competitive and you want to stand out. So go to Instagram, go to YouTube, go to TikTok, follow those people who drop little tips here and there and all that, because you need to start from somewhere. So I hope that
Sandra,
answers your question.
that question. I know our time has gone, but I can
Okay,
understand where this person is coming from.
right.
There are times where you are all the coaches we are telling you do this, that you have done it, and nothing is necessary. You're not really seeing the results you want to see.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are two sides to it. All right. When you decide to do something for the first time, just know the universe is going to test you to see how serious you are. The universe is going to make sure, okay, this one, where are you coming from? Who you? The universe wants to see how serious you are. People are watching, your friends are watching, your family is watching, those around you are watching. They just want to see if you are going to last long. So keep going. Don't stop. All right. That's one. Another way is you need to use money to make money. Right? If you are putting content on Instagram, it means and you're not getting likes. If you have like 2,000 followers, expect 10% of your audience to react to your post, I guess. Expect not so 2,000, 10% is like around the range of 200, right? Inside that 200 reacting, not everybody is going to respond to every of your posts. Okay, so use money to make money, learn new ways to do it, right? Create a valuable post. Any post you see people respond to, shoot it up on Facebook, on Instagram ads. Let more persons see it. More eyes equal more visibility, all right? More eyes, more visibility. If you want more persons to interact with you, if you have fewer audience, your content is valuable, they will respond. If you notice people respond to one particular thing on Instagram, share it to your WhatsApp status, share it to your Facebook, let people go and check it on Instagram, share it everywhere that you can to pull people to your audience. So that's how I grew my Instagram. I moved everybody I had on WhatsApp. Oh yeah, follow me on Instagram, and that was how we got to where we are. So use money, keep going, don't stop. All right? Yeah.
Thank you so much. I don't think I would have done justice to it like you just did. So
Nah,
I hope that answered the
just
question. So the last question, please, this is the final question, so we can just leave. We've spent a lot of time. Bubakar is asking, is from Guinea. We have international participants. I'm so glad. Thank you so much. Is it advisable to combine marketing, branding, and IT support? This is a touch of Mr. Detola and Mr. Godswill. IT, I really don't know who that is because that's not me. So, but then I hope both of them together will be able to answer this question for you in 2 minutes or less than 2 minutes. So, Mr.
ladies
Godswill,
first.
Mr. Desola, I think ladies first. Let Mr. Desola go first, so then Mr. Godswill can just round it off.
Hello. So, yes, I think it is because personally, I do all of that. Recently, I started to venture into cloud computing, IT support. So, I really think you can do it. It all depends on. Oh, it says under the same brand. Does it mean that you are doing all of these things yourself? Is that it? I would like to an answer to that. If you are doing all of it yourself, my only concern is that you may become burnt out and not give your best for all of these areas because all of these are a lot. They are like a lot on their own. But I mean, there's really nothing you cannot do. Like Sandra said, if you're an entrepreneur, you're most likely going to be doing all of that for a while before you have enough to like employ people and all of that. So it's not wrong, but what I would say is pace yourself. Put structures in place such that you are able to do all of this without losing the quality on any end. So that's what I would say.
Okay, Sandra, I think next year.
Yes, please, you are.
Okay, Aditola gave a really good response on it because you definitely burn out at some point, most especially when you're just starting out. But there are ways to all these things is just packaging. There are ways to really package it. Okay, so first things first, I think you should pick one. Pick one of these things: marketing, branding, and IT support services. Because there's a way everything goes together. Okay? Let's say someone is IT support. the person somehow will need marketing and branding and those things. So pick one of these things that you know you want to be known for, that you're good at. This is that one thing that I'll keep talking about. When somebody needs marketing experts, they come to me. And based on their trust in me being able to deliver marketing, I can recommend my branding services, my IT support services. They will transfer that trust from marketing to you on those other things. But whatever you do, make sure that you can actually deliver these things. Okay, so pick one, be known for that, and then leverage that trust on your audience, your clients, and use that to get them to hire for other things. For to say you're going to position as all of these ones, create content across different ones, or positioning across all these three things is really going to be difficult and to confuse your audience. So pick one, right? Then there's this funny thing I wrote on my notes. I said the clients that buys shoe will need polish. Okay, it's quite funny. Someone buys shoe, they'll need polish eventually to get it done. So imagine you sell shoe and polish, you're making more money. Okay, so pick one, and then on the side, when they are customers, when they are ID your clients, they do this one too. Alpha. Sorry, I think that's preaching. Let me explain in English. So I do this also. Okay, so the person comes to you for this, and then you tell the person I also do these things and all of that. It's easy to get more money off your way when you already have trust from one particular service. Yeah, so thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my speakers. Thank you so much, all of you that attended. Thank you so much. Thank you for staying with us. Like we spent so much time. So I'm putting out a message in the chat box. For those people who are interested specifically. If you're an entrepreneur, you can check YouTube to improve your skill here and there. But if you know you do not have a digital skill and you know you would need this extra source of income, please put in SC and your email in bracket, or your email address and SC in bracket, to show that you're interested in getting a social media management course, or put in GD in brackets, or your email in brackets and GD in bracket, to show that you'd like access to our graphics design course. Remember, these courses have been thoughtfully curated and I've paid for them. Myself and my partners have paid for them. I've gotten discounts. See, like God just said, you know what? We are going to do this. And I give him all the glory. So just put that down so we can send a mail to you with the details on how to access these courses. And you get certificates when you're done. So it's not some random course. So just let's do that ASAP in the next 1 minute as we round up the session. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this. Thank you so much for joining our webinar. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we'll be ending this session now. Thank you so much, Mr. Godswill. I am so grateful. I'm so grateful. And all of you, you can follow him. You can follow him on IG. Mr. Godswill, can you please put down your Instagram handle, or maybe your YouTube channel as well? Because I know you also have a YouTube channel. I don't know if you drop tips and tricks there, but I know you do a lot of tips and tricks on Instagram. So, and please, I put down my YouTube handle. You can also check that, because the recording will be there, so that you can go back and watch and probably share with a few friends. This will help someone. So, Mr. Gospel, please help us with the handle. If you know you are an entrepreneur and you don't need the graphics design skill to make any source of income or to increase the source of income, please don't type in the chat box. But if you know you need this as a source of income, put your name and your email or whatever I just stated previously in the chat box. I can see a lot of you. So the handle is there, Godswill Brand with a R to the end. So I'm just going to record this. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. So you can start leaving the meeting. Thank you so much. We'll send a mail, and we'll also create a group we'll create a group. So if you'd like to join our community for accountability, then you can also state, so we can add you to the community, or you click on the link via the mail to join the community. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Godswill. I don't know if he's still here. Okay.